completely stop thoughts of greed and anger. This I don't know. But I like that the first thought, I'd like to have sex with that person. I like that car. I want a car like that. I hate that. Racist thoughts. We have terrible, well, maybe you don't. I have terrible thoughts. First thought is like a freebie. That just popped up, who knows where from. But then we have the choice to cut it off, to stop it. And that's a lot of our practice. How do you do that? How do you work with those triggers? Just use the breath. Just like I'm an expert. But yeah, this is all stuff we all struggle with. But the thought comes up, I want a chocolate sundae. Just breathe. And then feel the feeling. Be the feeling. So if it's need, I'm lonely, be that loneliness, be that neediness, be that hungry, be that yearning. If it's hatred, we should just get rid of all the Muslims. Well, look where that's gotten us. Or Muslims are, I don't know what they are. They're bad, though. They must be, because we're bombing them all over the place. So the nation flourishes, talking about the nation as my life, that over and over again, I want an ice cream sundae, and then getting the ice cream sundae, that'll get you overweight. Over and over again, hating somebody or a culture, that can create war. It can hurt the whole world. And in fact, since everything's connected, every time we go off on our greed and anger, we create a negative universe, or a destructive universe, an unhappy universe. So just part of our practice is to watch how those triggers happen. And it's really good to sit. It's really good to work with triggers when you're sitting, because you really can't get up. It's against the rule to get up and go get the ice cream. You have to sit there with your yearning. So it's really good. That's really why we do this. Just sit with it. I heard that the sleeves are long for monks, just to kind of deter us from beating each other up. So, it's kind of hard. So the thought arises, I hate that person, but it's kind of hard to get untangled and really, without, just cut that off. And I really like that. The first thought, we don't have control over. The second one, we can shift it to breath or mantra or whatever we use. What I do is say, no, Seisen. That's what I do. No, that would be wrong. I don't say that about ice cream so much. Right, I know. I'm working on it. I'm working on the ice cream thing. And the same way with hatred. That I hate that person. Well, why? What is that about? And feel that anger. Be that anger. And you find out it's empty. It doesn't exist. So that's the point. One thought arises, the nation flourishes, you cut it off, and it's empty. It's just this, which is compassion and wisdom. Compassion for each other and wisdom to see the differences. It's so wonderful. And in the same way, one thought can create an amazing thing. Like, for some reason, I talk about Werner Erhard now all the time. But he had the thought for the Hunger Project. The thought was, I can raise everybody's consciousness about hunger. And I remember when he started the Hunger Project, And the purpose was not to feed people, and he got in trouble for that. The purpose was just to raise consciousness. Because before that, you didn't see hungry people on television. I'm not kidding. I never saw, like, India, Africa. I never saw pictures like that on television. I never saw it on the news. And like a year after the Hunger Project started, or maybe 6 months, all of a sudden I'm watching the news and there's people are starving in Africa. I was like, wow, Warner did it. And of course he's like a media expert. But he just had that thought, just me making a fuss about hunger, I can raise the consciousness of the world about there being hunger. And I also remember Baker Roshi long ago told me that he made a vow to talk to somebody about peace every day. And didn't matter who or didn't matter how, but every day he had to talk about peace. And he said he particularly liked to do it with long-distance operators, because this was the old ages, you guys. It was not like bam, 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 hello. You had to get an operator to call long distance. There was no Skype then. And we all rode horses everywhere.
That's right.
But, so I think he talked to Russia a lot. So he liked to just, have you thought about peace? Have you thought about world peace? Imagine being a long distance operator. But talk to somebody every day about peace. So, or I'm not going to use plastic sacks anymore. This is one, it was uncomfortable for me talking about ice cream. This one I feel more comfortable about and more proud about is I decided not to use plastic bags, and it's hard because remembering to take the bags with you was really hard for me. And so I made the rule, if I forgot my bags, I had to go home and get them, which was a tough rule. But you know, you only go home and get your cloth bags, your reusable bags a couple times before you figure it out to have your bags with you. So just that thought, and as a vow, that's a vow. So there's the thought, there's the greed and anger thoughts, there's the trigger thoughts, and how we work with them, and then there's the vow. I vow to accomplish the way. I vow to do what it takes to accomplish the way. That thought changes the world. It will change your world if you have that thought. So, 2 ways to look at this koan, and that's what Checho means when he says, are there any Zen practitioners who live the same life and die the same death? So live with right thought. That's one of the paramitas, and it's one of the Eightfold Path. Right thought. And create from right thought. Create nations from right thought. And that experience of true self, that accomplishing the way, is the great death. The realizing that there's nothing to hold on to. That whole thing I created, those brambles, do not exist. So it's freedom. We've been talking about freedom and ease. Comes from that great death, cutting everything off. That's what Secho's saying. So anyway, we're just a week into this intensive, and so far it's going well. I haven't been here much. It's been going real well. My mom got sick, and then I got sick. But we're both recovering. But anyway, it's going really well. Really strong practice period. So I encourage everyone to join us, and the schedule is on the internet, and I'm going to put it on the daily schedule too. but it's on the monthly schedule. There's an intensive, but we'll start Tuesday morning at 6:30 again, and just really encourage everyone to join us for however much you can. You can be a vampire. Vampires are in. You can be a vampire. Look at you can just come in and feed off the samadhi energy of people who've been sitting for long. And it's really true. When you walk in the Zen with people who've been sitting long, it's very powerful. So come and experience that. And then it really helps us. People coming in, it's really inspiring. Because we're kind of like blogging along, and then someone comes in and goes, "Oh, well, they think this is worthwhile, so maybe I'll stick with it." If you show up, it's very inspiring. So yeah, I encourage all of us. Let's have a real strong practice period, and just be aware of triggers, and then notice what I do with it, and how I follow it, or how I cut it off. Just pay attention to that. Learn how to cut